Bloomsburg University men's and women's tennis teams took to the courts this past weekend to kickstart the 2012 season as they hosted the annual PSAC Conference Tournament. This was the first PSAC championship tournament to be held since fall of 2010, as last fall's flood washed away any hopes of having the tournament last year. With that, none of the champions from 2010 will be back to defend their titles. With all the PSAC titles up for grabs, the Huskies had a rough outing in all phases, as no Bloomsburg University athlete made it past the quarterfinals. 4-seed Michelle Perez lost in the quarterfinals of the women's singles to Indiana University of Pennsylvania's Katie Eaton by a score of 6-1 and 6-3. In men's doubles, Mike DeSanto and Evan Carney of Bloomsburg were eliminated by future champions Rush Amin and Varun Desai of Kutztown University by a score of 8-2. Last year, Michelle Perez and Emily Palco were a force to be reckoned with in the PSAC as they collected another PSAC All-Conference Award in women's doubles. But Emily Palco was lost to graduation this year, and Junior Perez has found a new partner, freshman Ada Diop. What does Michelle think about the loss of Emily and her futures in doubles?
I mean, it's going to be really hard. Me and Emily had great chemistry last year. We always had fun on the court and off the court, and we were really great friends. So I'm not too sure how it's going to work out this year because my new partner is a freshman. But if we work hard and whatnot, I think we'll be good.
Going to take her under your wing, mentor?
Of course.
Perez is entering her junior season, coming off a team-best 12-4 record last year. Even more impressive, she went 11-1 in her final 12 matches. How did Michelle manage to turn it up down the stretch?
Well, I really wanted to do well last year, so I trained really hard with my coach, and my dad helped me out with a few pointers here and there, and so I just really wanted it, so I tried harder.
While head coach Marty Coyne says Michelle is as talented as any player he's ever coached, their relationship goes far and beyond just tennis.
Michelle Perez, wow. That's a story in itself. I've known Michelle's family for a long time. Matter of fact, I had the privilege of holding Michelle as a baby right after she was born. I worked with her dad and played tennis with her dad, who was a very, very good tennis player from Mexico, played Davis Cup for Mexico. And so I've known the family a long time, and Michelle's a very, very talented athlete. She doesn't always train as hard as she should, but she is a gamer who, when you turn on the switch and it's game time, you know you're going to get 100% from her, and she's going to go out there and battle, because one thing you know about Michelle is she hates to lose. She cannot stand to finish in second place. So she's a battler, and she's improved. Her game has improved. She still has a couple things she needs to do a little better, but we're working on that on a day-by-day basis. But it's been fun to watch her grow.
Michelle isn't the only one who's excited about this year's team's future. Head coach Marty Coyne sees potential in this 2012-2013 team.
Okay, well, we'll start with the men. And the men won the conference last year, which was a really neat accomplishment. And now we graduated 4 of our starting 6 players. So this year is going to be a little bit of a rebuilding, and we're going to have to do a lot of serious training before we get to the point where we can repeat as conference champions. So our starting point isn't as far forward as last year, but it's a great crew who wants to work hard, and so we're getting after it right now. On the women's side, we graduated 2 starters and had a few players really stepping up over the summer and improving their game. Some of our juniors are a lot better than they were coming in a couple years ago, and we added a strong freshman class for the women this year. So we're going to be okay with the women. We finished 3rd in the conference last year. We should be able to get to that point again, or maybe even improve a spot. So we're hoping for good things from the teams this year.
This is Coach Coyne's 20th season as the men's head coach, his 19th with the women. With 18 PSAC titles between the men and the women, 15 All-Americans, 14 Division II championship appearances, and 12 PSAC Coach of the Year awards, 5 with the men, 7 with the women, Coach Coyne has turned himself into a fixture of Pennsylvania tennis. But after all these years at Bloomsburg University, what has been Coach Coyne's favorite moment?
Wow, favorite moment. That's a tough one. It's funny. Some of the trips and some of the places we've been have probably been those favorite moments, or some of just the individual moments with the athletes. I mean, the winning and the losing takes care of itself, but there are some great moments when we've been on the road with the team, and like last year, even when we lost 5-4 to Shaw at the regionals with the men, a heartbreaking loss in like a 5-hour match. Coming home after we sat for an hour and let it kind of absorb the loss, the team just had so much fun coming back and the interactions. So I don't think there's a moment win and loss wise where I could say that was that moment, but there have been so many along the way. The process has been fun, not the destination.
It's all about the ride, right, kids?
Yep.
What does this year's team have to do to return to the winning form your teams displayed back in the late 90s?
Ooh, okay. Late 90s was a pretty good era for us. I just had one of our alums back this weekend, Evan Rosen, who was on one of those teams, and the men's team that year had 2 doubles teams in the top 5 in the country. So the team itself was top 8 in the country. To get to that level is very, very difficult because the landscape of Division II tennis has changed. So in order to get to that level, there's going to have to be some changes in philosophy of the athletic department. We're a state university, and we get very competitive with a lot of PA kids, a couple Jersey kids, a couple New York kids, 1 or 2 internationals on the team. In this day and age, in order to be competitive at the national level, we'd probably have to go totally international. And that's not really the philosophy of the athletic department. So probably not a realistic position to be in. But those were fun times. There were some good teams in the 90s for the Huskies.
And while it's fun to reflect on the past, Coach Coyne insists that this team look to the future. The faces have changed, but the goal remains the same, a conference championship for the 2012 season. For Husky Nation, I'm Jimmy DeRosa.